What up, Wolves? Blade Master here, back with some more Total War Rome 2 online action. I've taken Pergamon in this matchup. I'm fighting against GBrothers P, whom I haven't fought in a long time. I think he didn't like patch 15, so he decided to take a break from Rome 2. And since patch 16 released, he wants to, or he wanted to take a look at, how good it was. So he's taken Massilia. I've taken Pergamon. Let's take a look at what builds I've brought. What build I've brought. I've taken 4 Pick Peltas, a front line of 4 Hoplites, a couple of Agema spears on the flanks, and 3 total Galatian swords, 4 citizen cav, and 1 Pergamene noble cavalry. I think Pergamon is probably one of the better factions among the... Actually, no, it is one of the weaker factions. In terms of ranking, I'd probably put Chimeria up top, Colchis second, very close second, and then Pergamon, and finally Massilia. Granted, Massilia is not technically part of the Black Sea Colonies DLC, but it was one of the factions that was released along with the others. And the reason why I rate Massilia so low is because I just don't think that they have any difference makers in their army. Now, you might be wondering, like, why are you saying this when they've got really cost-effective melee infantry who can be difference makers in any army? Well, the reason is they've got Thorax Swordsmen and Axe Warriors and Celtic Warriors. Now, these are solid units. Like, Celtic Warriors are solid units, and you can see he's brought some Gallic Hunters who are shooting at my Citizen Cav now. But he's got, Thorax Swordsmen are solid units, defensive units, solid units, but won't win you a game. Neither are Axe Warriors or Celtic Warriors. Massilian Hoplites are good units, but they just don't, they aren't elite enough, or they're not strong enough to win you a battle on their own. And Hoplites really, they're strong when you've got strong skirmishers behind them. Otherwise, you need some really high tier Hoplites like Chimerian Noble Hoplites, or Chimerian heavy infantry, or Colchian Nobles to actually make that difference and get 150 plus kills. And Pergamon, on the other hand, has Agema spears, picked peltas, so it's got units that can easily get 150 to 200 kills by themselves. Agema spears are basically Thuria spears on steroids. So they will shower javelins, and then they've actually got good enough melee stats that they can hold their own in battle. On top of that, Pick Peltas, we all know, are really strong at the moment. They've got Pergamene Noble Cavalry. Now, this unit is not actually well rated by many people. And I can understand that, like, it is a very specialized unit, and it's a unit that requires a lot of babysitting in order to be effective. And they are quite a risk if you bring them, especially for their cost. But if you can manage to get a good charge in with them, they can actually destroy an army. Like, they can get 250 plus kills within a minute, because their charge bonus is as high as a Cataphract's. Granted, their armor is nowhere near a Cataphract level. Their charge bonus is as high as a Royal Cataphract. So those are units that cost 1450, so a whole 250 talents more than these units. So they don't have good enough armor though. 45 armor makes them like very vulnerable to skirmish lines. So that's the reason why I think bringing only one of them is good enough. And if you're going to bring them, then treat them like you would any vulnerable, like Hellenic shock cavalry, like Ptolemaic cav and other shock cavalry. Just bring 1 or 2 of them, and bring other cavalry so that you have enough cavalry to catch the enemy's cavalry units, and then just use these units solely as a powerful, hammer. To your Hoplites Anvil, or to your Levy Pikeman Anvil, or whatever. So now you can see he's brought his front line of 3 Hoplites who are attacking my Hoplites. My Galatian swords, I set them on his Massilian Hoplites early on in the game so that they could just catch them, and then my Pick Peltas can start showering some javelins on them. Meanwhile, his Massilian cavalry have engaged my Citizen Cav, and Massilian cavalry should definitely win that battle. I've actually done a couple of tests with these units, and if you can get a proper charge, head-on charge with them, they will beat Equites with around 30 units to spare. They will beat Egyptian cavalry with around 20 units to spare. They actually beat Median Cav in one of the tests that I did, but the Median Cav won in another one, so they're pretty close to Median Cav. So Median Cav are very, very cost-effective units that actually cost 120 whole talents more than these units, and they managed to beat them as well. So Massilian cavalry are definitely a very, very potent anti-cavalry force. Now, I'm moving around with my Citizen Cav. I've got a rear charge on his Axe Warriors, on his Celtic Warriors. So that should be a good enough morale penalty. He's bringing up an Axe Warrior to help support this battle, but my Galatian sword should do okay in holding up these units. Meanwhile, my Agema spears are firing from this flank over here, and I've also got one Hoplite unit that I can just put them on Hoplite phalanx if the need arises. Meanwhile, my hoplites are on my front line are deployed in hoplite phalanx. They're going to be fighting up against his Massilian hoplites, who should eventually win out, but they will take a long time because they're not very aggressive units. And meanwhile, that's going to give enough time for my pick peltas to just keep showering javelins. You can see 40, 28, 34, 35 kills on really like high value, high armored units. My Galatian swords are attacking his axe warriors, and my citizen cav have been caught by his Celtic warriors. Now my hoplites are starting to waver a little bit, but they probably shouldn't rout so soon. I mean, they've still got 75 units left. Meanwhile, my Pergamon noble cavalry are going to come in for what should be a pretty decisive charge. They're going to break through this axe warrior unit right from the start. Look at that, 20 kills, 22, 25. It's just racking up really, really quickly. And the only reason I charged into them is because I had a lot of numbers in cav. Granted, some of them have died now. His Massilian hoplites have seen to that. But my Pergamon noble cavalry are very close to his archer line, and now they're going to get a pretty devastating downhill charge on his Gallic hunters. So they should be able to slaughter them really, really quickly. Let's take a look at how many kills they've got so far. 60, 70, 80. Yeah, it should be rising really, really high really soon. And I think his axe warrior, what happened to his axe warrior? They're down by around 42 men just from that one charge. So far, my Pergamon noble cavalry have lost only 6 units. And I'm going to get a rear charge on these Massilian hoplites with a couple of them. He has brought in his Massilian cavalry to catch my Pergamon cavalry. So they will start dropping now. But 140 kills so far in a matter of what? This was like less than a minute. Not too bad. 147. His Massilian hoplites general is coming soon though, so I need to move away with these guys really quickly. So it just boils down to the fact of how good an initial charge can you get with these units, because after maybe 2 or 3 charges you can't really expect these units to still stay alive. You can see they're starting to drop really quickly, but I should be able to get a pretty good charge now. I'm running away with them, and meanwhile his citizen cav have attacked the rear of my, his Massilian cav have attacked the rear of my hoplites. I'm going to move around, catch his Gallic hunters and kill them off. But his Massilian hoplites have broken through my hoplite line. My Agima Spears general I've put in square formation, so they're just going to take forever to die. The other Agima Spears is over here and helping out in that battle. Rear charged his Massilian hoplites his Massilian cav came to support. But so far 215 kills with my Pergamon noble cavalry, double chevron, not too bad. Granted, a lot of them were on like pretty vulnerable units, but now I'm going to get a rear charge in on some Massilian hoplites, so that should help a lot. But the thing is, his Massilian cav are really close to my Pergamon noble cav, so they've got a lot of kills though. 258 kills is not bad, and they are causing a pretty big morale penalty here. I think I didn't bring a warrior general. That was a huge mistake by me. I was wondering at this point, like, why didn't I bring a warrior general? So instead I put the kind of useless battle rhythm. It's not really very useful for the type of general or type of unit that I've got. But these pick peltas are going to rear charge these axe warriors while they were held up by my hoplites. Should be good enough to kill them off. They've only got 30 units left. Meanwhile, his Massilian hoplite line is starting to break down. Only 60 units left. 80. His general is doing pretty well. There's 71 kills on them, and hardly any casualties. My Pergamon noble cavalry, 269 kills so far, 270, but they're basically done at this point. And now the strength of these pick peltas really comes into play. The fact that they can last for so long, even into late game, really helps them. And they have enough health and base morale to actually not completely rout immediately from Massilian cav rear charge. Granted, they are wavering now, but they have routed now, but they're still pretty good units. I mean, we all know how good they are. Agima Spears general, 125 kills so far, just doing brilliantly. That's why I love these units. These are the real difference makers in a matchup, not these Massilian hoplites. I just don't really like the Massilian hoplites that much. They're kind of in this weird price zone / effectiveness zone where they're just not, they're good units, but they're not great units. And in any case, Colchian nobles, you can see, are much more cost effective than those units. My hoplites, meanwhile, only 36 kills. In a hoplite on hoplite battle, obviously Massilian hoplites will destroy your units or the enemy's units. But when you're bringing up like thorax swordsman or something like that, I just don't think that they do too well. My Agima Spears, on the other hand, are killing off these Celtic warriors. Of course, they can't get flanked because they're in square formation. My general is starting to die pretty quickly though. 161 kills is not bad. Meanwhile, I've rear charged with my Pig Peltas. They're going to start racking up the kills because late game Pig Peltas are quite a handy force in melee. 101 kills with them so far. Rear charged his Massilian Hoplite Gen. I rear charged with my Pig Peltas, and I think I did like a little hammer and anvil on all sorts of his units. And even though my Hoplite over here has been destroyed, I've got another Hoplite here that's on Hoplite Phalanx, so they should again be able to last for a little bit. It's getting super close. His Massilian Cav have charged my Pig Peltas, but I think this can probably boil down to him not really knowing the strength of these Pig Peltas. Charging a pretty depleted Massilian Cav onto them is, I mean, they'll probably lose. And in any case, you know, Pig Peltas will definitely get quite a few kills before they actually start dropping. 112 kills on them so far. My Gima Spears General has gotten 181 kills. The other Gima Spears got 109 with a double chevron, killed off his Hippeus Lancer, who actually got 184 kills. So, not bad. I mean, maybe my thoughts on the effectiveness or the lack of effectiveness on Hippeus Lancer is kind of unjustified. I don't know. But I was about to rear charge his general, but I decided this more unbraced unit of Massilian Hoplites is a better target for my Pig Peltas. 112 kills on them so far. Rear charging this Massilian Hoplite should actually wither it down. The reason why I rear charge these Massilian Hoplites is because they only have 40 units left, so they'll probably be more susceptible to a morale penalty or morale shock and then shatter. He's charging in with his one unit of Hippeus Lancer remaining. 185 kills. Compare that to my Pergamon Noble Cavalry though. 276 kills versus 185 kills. I think my Pergamon Noble Cavalry won out in that battle. 19 units left. I think my Gima Spears General died at this point. He has rear charged my his Massilian Cavalry onto my Hoplites, but I counter-charged them at the last second, and I think that should be good enough to kill off whatever, you know, few straggling units are left for his Massilian Cav. They're done wavering. They should be out, and his Massilian Hoplites just they just weren't enough to keep withstanding that rear charge. He's got one Celtic Warriors unit that's got 177 kills, which is brilliant. I think they killed off a lot of my Pig Peltas, I think. And he's got one Massilian Hoplites that's pretty depleted against one depleted Hoplites, but it's got more units than he does. And it's just a battle of Hoplites now. His Celtic Warriors were just not good enough at the end of the day. My Pig Peltas just did really well, 153 kills with them. And I've rear charged the other Massilian Hoplites unit that he's got, and they're going to shatter. He's left with his pretty strong Massilian Hoplites General, but I've just got more numbers in Hoplites and Pig Peltas. So very, very close game, and a good game to GBrothers P. I think this game is basically over. He's starting to waver. My Hoplites actually have only like 29 units left, so they can start to waver now. But I do have one half-strength Hoplites on top of that. So let's just fast forward. They're starting to waver. 53, 52, 50. My Pig Peltas, let's see if they can get, I think they got a double chevron at the end of that game. I think so. It's probably the only one. No, it was this one. So Pig Peltas again doing a really good job. 202 kills with a triple experience chevron on my Gima Spears General. 109 with a double chevron on my other Gima Spears unit. These are definitely very good units to bring. One of my Pig Peltas just didn't do really well. But the other three, I mean, they just did beautifully. 272 kills on my Pergamon Noble Cavalry. Again, these were on pretty unarmored units though. So I don't know, I mean, maybe they aren't really all that worth it. I would like to see them get, maybe a 10 increase in their armor or 15 increase in their armor. Maybe to like 60. Just to make them a bit more, well, it still will make them very susceptible to archer fire, but at least they won't die as quickly in melee. Because for 1200 talents, they are a very costly unit. My Citizen Cav did just about as I expected them to. All they had to do was hold up his Massilian Cavalry. They didn't do a great job at it. You can see some of his cavalry broke through and did get a lot of kills. Actually, I mean, coming back to think about it, Massilian Cavalry could be the difference maker in a Massilian army, but they're not strong enough. Just in terms of pure raw strength, they're not good enough. They're very cost effective, just as Axe Warriors are cost effective and Celtic Warriors are cost effective, but none of them really have that pure strength that can win you a match. That's what I think. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for more. Peace.